Hi, the name is Vidashi. Welcome to the African Time. My people, how happy are you guys when seeing me here? Okay, so recently I discussed something about the Ghanaian airline that is actually being ready to launch. But one thing I get to notice from you guys was a lot of you guys were asking, well, which African countries even have an airlines? How many of them even have an airlines? We all know that this continent is made up of 54 countries though. Do you want to know if your country have an airline? Well, I want to know too. Well, shared by the African Fox Zone, they say African countries with the national airlines. Now we have Algeria having a national airline, Angola, Botswana, Burkina Faso. Wow, Burkina Faso, really? Cape Verde, Cote d'Ivoire, Djibouti, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Equatorial Guinea, Kenya, Libya, Mauritius, Madagascar, Morocco, Mozambique, Rwanda, Seychelles, South Africa, Sudan, Tanzania, Tunisia, Uganda, and then lastly Zimbabwe. So these countries listed here are said to be the African countries with a national airline. What's your country mentioned here? My country is Ghana, and we are not mentioned here. We are actually working towards to relaunch or to get ours back on field though. We used to have some, got collapsed, but you know how government mismanagement works, okay? But it will be back, don't worry. Well, notable names not seen here is also the giant of Africa, Nigeria, too, was not seen here. But apart from that, there's a lot of countries here. Out of the 54 African countries, where we have Algeria, Angola, Botswana, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, Cote d'Ivoire, Djibouti, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Guinea, Kenya, Libya, Mauritius, Madagascar, Morocco, Mozambique, Rwanda, Seychelles, South Africa, Sudan, Tanzania, Tunisia, Uganda, and Zimbabwe. So that means out of the 54 African countries, we have about 24 of them has a national airline. Yeah, about 24 of them. So about 30 African countries still doesn't have a national airlines. And guess what? Ghana and Nigeria got to be part of the 30 countries that don't have a national airline. But apart from that, the rest of you guys are doing marvelous with that. Hopefully, it's not giving you guys a loss. Like you guys are not losing. They're not always bailing out these islands, because most African countries are year in year out bailing out these. Because I don't know how, but these airlines companies or national airlines always run at loss. Ghana has been the case study. Ever since we had a national airline, every time every government comes, have to bail out the national airline. So that's how it got closed. But right now they are strategizing it to bring it back. So hopefully your own country too is not being like that. You guys are actually gaining something from it, because where I'm coming from, it's not that cool. Okay, well, see this. This one says and they think entertainment makes them giants. Kenyan brother, who are you referring to? I don't know. Who is he referring to? He says, and they think entertainment makes them the giants. Who are you referring to, bro? I wasn't here when this happened, though. Alright, so again, this one says, Nigerians, did your country have a national airline before, or you have never had one at all? If you had one and your government destroyed it, that is a different story. So Nigerians, this is an African, and he was asking Nigerians, have you guys even had a national airline before? Or if you have, what happened? Did your government destroy them? If your government destroyed them, then he has not much of a problem to do, but it's still a story. So wanted to know, well, then I asked Cook, that is an AI 2 on X, that does Nigeria had a national airline? And it says, Nigeria previously had a national airline, Nigeria Airways, which operated from 1958 to 2003. Wow, that's beautiful. But closed due to financial difficulties. Currently, Nigeria does not have a fully state-owned national airline. Nigeria Air announced in 2018 is 95% privately owned with 5% government stake and is not yet operational as of May 2025, still undergoing certification. However, IBOM Air, owned by Akwa Ibom State, functions as state-owned airline at the regional level. Okay, so the people who are asking that Nigeria have an airline, that is it. So Nigeria used to have one from 1958 to 2003. Yeah, they do. But due to financial difficulties, they got closed. But recently, they say in 2018, Nigeria re-announced that they will launch their airline again. But this one with 95% private owned and only 5% for the government owned. But even to date, they are still working on regulatories and authorities to launch that one too. So for now, 2025 is still not ready yet. So we can't actually say Nigeria have an airline now, but they used to have. But I'm sure it's on the way coming. Now again, this one also asks, does Zimbabwe have a national airline? I don't know why, but this South African seems concerned here. He wanted to know if Zimbabwe have an airline here, and this is what Group says. It says, yes, Zimbabwe has a national airline, Air Zimbabwe, which appears to be operational in 2025. Based on flight schedules and booking platforms, it serves domestic and regional routes with plans for expansion. However, its history of financial struggles and limited recent data raises doubt about its full capacity. Ongoing government support aim to modernize the fleet, but confirmation of current operation is incomplete. Okay, that's what I was saying though. Most of the airlines that are being operated in African countries or being run by the state are all running or having the financial difficulties. I don't know why, but it seems it's like the disease that is happening in every African country in their airlines. Only few are working hard. I can tell you for a fact though, only the Ethiopian airline that is actually working. For the rest of you guys, come on, let's be fair here. You guys know that most of the time it's your government that builds out these companies or these airlines companies. If I'm lying, you can tell me. And some of you guys are having a PPP, that's a public-private partnership, where even the private companies having more percentage than yours. But well, that one, I think that was actually fair than having the country to bail out every time and running a loss with that one. That is not cool. So this is something for you guys to know and learn about Africa and African airlines and how Africa is moving. Okay, so Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and these African countries are said to be having a national airline. Ghana was not in, Nigeria was not in, but hopefully you'll be part by next year by this time. Thank you for your time. See you guys around.